Honestly, what's the big deal? Anyone can come in and do their own personal business. Everybody needs to pee. You already have the privacy. Nobody's watching.
Recently, at the NAD conference held in Hartford, Connecticut, they decided to move forward with this concept. What this meant was that the signs for the men and women's restrooms were covered so that anyone could enter either bathroom. The first day, wow, I saw so many varying reactions. So for myself, what I experienced was my first time walking out of the stall. A gentleman looked at me and was just completely thrown off by simply seeing me in the restroom. You could see he was uncomfortable, but I told him the whole rationale behind gender-inclusive bathrooms, and I could see that he took in the information and took the time to process that. People reacted, quite honestly, all across the board.
I think it's cool. I'm fine with it. It felt more interactive, which is cool. You know it smells good in there. Doesn't smell so awful since there's no urinals for the men. We all go into a regular bathroom stall.
I support the idea 100% and have no problem with it. It's my first time experiencing it. It took me some time to think about it. When a guy urinates, I don't want to see his thing, you know what I mean?
I understand the purpose of gender-inclusive restrooms. I'm just not used to it. I still got along with those in the restroom. Just not used to it. Thanks, guys.
I identify as a non-binary and was thrilled when I was free to use the restrooms, but I still see some people, especially older people, who were thrown off by the covered restroom signs. There was some negative reactions, but at the same time, some of them were curious. Other people would educate them and they would process it well.
Honestly, this is the first time I've gone to this type of bathroom, and I wasn't so sure. Other people would tell me I was free to enter. I didn't know about the policy beforehand, but now it's inclusive. People have their preferences.
It's my first time using a gender-inclusive bathroom. And I didn't notice the fact that the bathroom sign was covered by paper. I saw the sign about the gender inclusivity. When I entered the bathroom, I could tell it was originally reserved for women because there were no urinals. After I washed my hands, I was thrown off when Melissa came up next to me. Just not used to that.
I feel that people have the right to enter any bathrooms according to their gender identities. There shouldn't be restrictions.
I think it's a cool idea. Honestly, what's the big deal? Anyone can come in and do their own personal business. Everybody needs to pee. You already have the privacy. Nobody's watching. Know what I mean? So I think it's cool, and also, it feels good for transgender individuals. It makes them feel safe. Everyone needs to pee.
For sure. As you can see, the reactions were varied. While it took some to get used to, it seems as though it was a positive experience for several. And how did this happen? And why was it much needed? Take a look.
Take a look a few years ago. The federal government announced that schools would be changing their bathroom policies to be gender inclusive. Then, not too long ago, the federal government decided to go back to its previous policies. The NAD felt it was important to recognize the change and to continue what the government originally had said they would do. The NAD wanted the LGBT community to feel safe, to be included, and to respect their preferences. We're both part of the LGBT community, and we know many of LGBTs who may not look like regular people experiencing oppression in bathrooms. For example, a woman who doesn't look like a regular woman would enter a women's-only bathroom. Other women would object or even at times call security. We don't want that to happen to anyone who comes to the NAD conference. We want them all to feel comfortable. We don't want them to feel unwelcome or afraid to go to the conference because they may not be welcome in the bathrooms or might have a bad experience, so that's why we set in place this policy.
Wow. Personally, I think it's great that NAD has made this much needed move to ensure that everyone attending the NAD conference felt safe.
The reason why we felt it was important for NAD to set this policy in place to consider gender identity expressions, because we all have different identities. It's not just for men or women. We need to be inclusive of all people. That's important. They sought out my opinion because I'm openly transgender. They needed my advice on how to set these policies. Some of them were adopted from Gallaudet University, and we see them in other universities and organizations. We look at how to add proper language to these policies. We include gender identity and its expression. We adopted these policies to include bathrooms, so they would also be gender inclusive. The reason behind this is that many people are bullied in bathrooms. Many people are torn about which bathroom they should use because both of them don't really match their identities. It's better to have bathrooms that is inclusive and neutral. No men or women, just go in. Everybody needs to pee, right? We all have to go to the bathroom. It's important we have a safe space for everyone. It just doesn't benefit transgender people. It benefits everyone who doesn't feel comfortable. They have the chance to be themselves and use any bathroom they want.
So personally, I was also informed by one individual stating that they felt that this gender inclusive restroom notion just created a safe space for deaf and blind individuals because often they walk into the wrong restroom or they walk in with this uneasy feeling as to whether or not they're in the right bathroom. So this just created that safe space for those individuals. Major props to NAD for creating a safe space, an inclusive space. Gender-neutral bathrooms are beneficial to all of us in one way or another. You aren't taking away from anyone's rights nor needs. So what are your thoughts?